What's going on there, turd nerds? Matt with Operator Mindset here, and in today's video we're going to be doing a plant tour. So we're going to be walking through the plant just outside the door here and seeing what all it has to offer. By the way, if you are sitting on the toilet right now about to watch a tour of a wastewater plant video, make sure you flush that toilet first and then hit like and subscribe for me. That way we can keep making content just like this for you to watch while you're taking a dump and feeding the bugs. Thank you for your service. The bugs thank you too, by the way. Back to what the video is going to be about though. We are going to tour the plant. We're going to talk about what we're seeing, the reason it's there, the different processes. We're not going to get too nerdy into it, right? We want everybody to kind of understand and get to see what happens out there in the plant. But for you guys, operators in training, studying, preparing for that class 3 exam, right? I know you're nervous. There's activated sludge on it, but I work at a trickling filter plant. I don't know what to do, right? Hey, guess what? This video is for you too. You'll get to see some of the processes. You get to see the order in which they go. You'll get to see why we do what we do and various terminology that could be important for you in your exam. So stick around. Y'all watch the video. Give it a thumbs up. Give it a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And let's get out there. Alright, turd nerds. Here we are. First plant tour. Sorry for the glasses, but it is bright out here. I am looking at you. All right, I'm excited. Let's get the first one underway, starting with this right here. 800,000 gallons a day, 0.8 MGD package plant. It's a smaller plant, activated sludge process. Let's get into it. Let's show you what we get to first once we get down into the plant. And here we are just in time at the bar screen. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it around, guys. The bar screen is one of those essential pieces of equipment. Okay, I'm gonna try to zoom in, focus in. You see the screen itself, okay, that small little gaps and that rake moving down, it's gonna go down into the raw influent, all right? And any big material that's not supposed to be inside the raw influent is what gets caught in this screen, hence the name, bar screen, right? And what it's going to do is those rakes, they're traveling down a conveyor system, that chain link, and it's going to drag up any kind of bags or big debris or trash. You can see it coming up there, and the next one's coming down. It might stop here on us. There it is, it stopped. And so when we're telling you, man, I'm still zoomed in like crazy. Let's zoom back out. Y'all don't want to see my mustache that good, do you? All right, so when we're telling you don't only flush the 4 P's, if you hadn't seen that video, you need to go check it out, right? You only flush the four P's. That's pee, poop, puke, and paper. That paper being toilet paper, all right? But it goes through this screen, the raw influent sewage travels up those rakes all the way to the top, and then it dumps it down into this dumpster. Y'all want to go take a look at it? All right, everybody's probably like, oh, he's at the wastewater plant, it stinks. It really doesn't stink, except right here. All right, ask anybody else, any other operator, okay? The influent structure where your bar screen's at, that's what's going to stink the most. Okay, let's back up, give you a better shot of that. All right, the bar screen, that is a huge essential part of the system, okay, because it's going to take out those rags, the trash, limbs, sticks, all kind of stuff. All right, comment below if you guys, what's the craziest thing you've caught in your bar screen? Maybe physically pulled out, maybe even seen. I've seen money, I've seen jewelry. There's a ping pong ball I pulled out of there one time. Okay guys, that's just the stuff that the bar screen removes, but all of that stuff can go down into your system, clog up pumps, cause a lot of issues downstream. So we invest a lot of money at the beginning of the process so it doesn't cost you even more later on, okay? Moving on, let's walk right across the road here. Everything, once it goes through the bar screen, goes underground in a pipe, and it boils up right here onto the splitter box, okay? The splitter box does exactly what its name says. It splits the flow, okay? You got basin 1, basin 2. It's gonna let that flow split off and feed to each basin. So let's see if we can get a shot of it here. Pouring over. I'm gonna be honest, it's got a little stench. Everything going through here, through this splitter box, has been funneled through that bar screen, and that bar screen has removed any of the larger debris that could cause issues. You can see behind me there's pumps, there's piping, all kind of things that can get stuck, okay? A mop head can form, build up, and just wreak havoc on your system, cause you a lot of issues farther down the road. So after we leave the splitter box, we're headed to the basin. Let's go check it out. And here we are, out on the basin. All the basin is, for this process, like I said in the beginning of the video, it's activated sludge. And that's what you're looking at here, is the activated sludge process, this brown liquid. See how it's bubbly and forming? And you're probably thinking in your head like, oh my God, I bet it stinks so bad. It's brown, it's poop. Ugh, cannot imagine what that's like. It's really not that bad, okay? Let me explain why. So, I'm gonna walk around over here to the beginning of the process. Once it leaves the bar screen, hits the splitter box, it comes in here to the aeration basin, okay? This is the heart of your process. This is where all the action happens. The activated sludge process, guys, that is a biological process, meaning there are microbes and bacteria inside that wastewater. That is what is actually cleaning the wastewater. It's consuming the BOD, okay? It's got other things going on, nitrification, denitrification. That's what's happening here. That's right, there are microorganisms in the wastewater for this specific process. The wastewater comes into here to the treatment area, the basin, aeration basin, okay? What do these bugs need? They're just like you and I. They need food and they need oxygen. So what do we give them? Y'all give them the food when you flush your toilets. We as the operators provide oxygen through the series of blowers you see right over there. This is an extended aeration plant, so the air never stops. 24/7, 365, the air is on to these bugs, and that's what they want. Lots of air, lots of food, and they are happy. They're living their best life. So that's why it's a good rule of thumb. Flush daily, okay? The bugs need you. They're right here. All they want is to eat your dookie and live their best life, okay? As an operator, you got your senses, your sight, sound, and smell. Some of y'all use taste. I don't know, I really hadn't reached that point in my career yet of drinking it, but you know, if you do, comment below, let us know how that's working out for you. But sight, smell, and taste is very important. I said taste, you got me. Sight, smell, and sound. There you go. After this, it runs all the way around this system, takes 24 hours, and then it goes into the middle here, which is our clarifier. Let's get a good shot of that, okay? So the clarifier, it looks a lot different, as you can see, from the mixed liquor. It's actually clear. We'll try to get a little bit closer up view of that. It's got a good reflection of the sunlight. Hope that's not affecting the camera too much. But you see in this trough here, that trough has got clear water running through it. And it's got clear water rising to the top of the clarifier. Try to get us zoomed in, get us a better shot. All of that mixed liquor comes in through the center well right there. Hopefully you can see that. It's clouding up and it just comes out into the water and it settles down. And that is the purpose of the clarifier. The clarifier lets the solids settle out, and those return back to the head of the plant, to the mixed liquor and the aeration basin process. And the clear water rises to the top here, and it goes out for disinfection before it's released into the stream. And here we are at the return. Everything from the bottom of the clarifier is coming up right through there. You see it's still brown, and it's coming right back through, and it's heading back into the basin to the start of our plant. We got raw effluent coming in. We got our return all right here, and it goes right back around the circle, all the way around for treatment, okay? In that return, there are bugs. There is food. There's old bugs, new bugs, young and old, all alike, right? Those guys in there, if you were to run a mixed liquor on your system, mixed liquor being just kind of the count of the microorganisms, the organics in the system, and then you ran one on your return, it should be double of what your normal mixed liquor would be. That just shows you the potency of that settling from the clarifier, all of those solids settling down and then returning back at once, you're adding the food, you're adding the organisms back to the process right here at the beginning, so it goes back through its retreatment. It's a very important part of it. You got to keep relieving the solids, right? If you think about the plant as a person, what do? You consume food every single day. You breathe every single day. For most of us, every single day, we got something leaving our body too, right? So the sewer plant is the same exact way. All these microorganisms doing their job, we got to make sure we're taking care of them, and we are allowing them to then poop, and we call that in the business wasting, or WAS, waste activated sludge, okay? And the difference between WAS and RAS is just a little switch right here of this valve. We got our return, which I just showed you, headed back to the plant. When I'm ready to return, when I'm ready to waste, excuse me, I simply switch that valve and it goes in here to our digester. Our digester is also full of microorganisms and older sludge, and we got a hold time on this, so we're gonna fill it up, and once it gets full, we got two options from there. We can decant, which is just removing the clear water after it settles, or we would take it to our dewatering process, which is located right over here. We happen to have a belt press at this facility. We'll show you some footage of that later. But that's how you are getting the solids off of the system, is through wasting. It is hot. I don't know if y'all can feel it on camera, but I am just pouring sweat. Woo! All right, we are heading off the basin here. Beautiful sight behind me. You're gonna run through the bar screen, you're gonna hit a splitter box, then you're gonna enter into the basin. You're gonna have to fight through all kinds of tardigrades, and hopefully there's not a lot of Bristol worms in there, but see some stalked ciliates, some beautiful bouquets. After you get through all that, you're gonna hit the clarifier. You're gonna settle out, and that clear water is gonna rise up. It goes underground all the way here to our effluent structure. Effluent structure here, guys. We have tertiary treatment with these two filters here. After that, it's gonna go to UV. So let's talk about the importance of that while we're in the shade, because I'm dying. Give me a minute here. Whew. Okay, is that better? I hope so, I can't tell. I'm sorry, I'm also trying to keep my whole frame, you know, body and frame here. It's new, I'm getting the hang of it. Love y'all, you got it. Like I said, you're leaving the clarifier, you're coming here. This is our effluent structure. We got two filters right here. These guys run on level switches, so when the water fills up, it kicks on. It's gonna collect any more smaller solids that made it through the system, through that clarifier. Again, in the clarifier, your solids are gonna settle down to the bottom. The clear water rises. Anything left in there gets caught in these guys right here. Let's get you a close up. Starting to squint, the sun's coming back up. And they're on auto, so if it kicks on and gets me all nasty, well, at least you'll get a laugh out of it, right? There's the level sensors. It runs through these guys right here before it enters the next channel for UV disinfection. And again, these filters right here catch any of the smaller debris that's left over in the system, and it pumps them to a lift station. Excuse me, gravity flows to a lift station that then pumps back to the head of the plant and goes back for treatment. I'm sorry, the glasses got to come back on, I'm struggling. Now, after it goes through the tertiary treatment, those filters right there, it's going to enter in this channel, and it comes through the next channel, which is UV disinfection. Look at that right there. Make sure you're wearing your glasses. Read your book. It is UV, okay? UV disinfection, guys, that has been one of the better things we've done here at this plant when we did the upgrade. Can't say enough about it. We used to have chlorine, so you had to feed chlorine for disinfection, and then you had sulfur dioxide to remove the chlorine before it went into the receiving stream. Now, UV, it does its thing. The water passes through the bulbs that are underneath the water, and while it's passing through those bulbs, it's going to destroy any of those pathogens and the other bacteria, any of their genetic material. That's what the UV does. That's how it disinfects the wastewater. It's a very important thing. It doesn't sterilize it, it disinfects it, kills their ability to keep going, okay? But after that disinfection point, we also have a post air blower, which I had to turn off so that you can hear me. But normally it's raging, boiling, rolling. I'll go turn it on and we'll get a shot of that real quick, okay? And then it's gonna travel down through this channel here, and then it passes through our effluent flume. That's where we get our reading. That's how we know as operators every day what we got going on, what we got leaving the plant. Make sure you can hear it. It sounds just lovely, doesn't it? Sounds like a waterfall. Let's zoom in on that nice clear water, and it's leaving, headed out to our receiving waters, okay? Awesome. Let's go turn on that post air blower before I forget. That way you guys can see it in action. All right, post air's back on. Let's get a shot of that here. Bubbling. So that's part of our goal as wastewater operators at all plants all around the nation and the world, is to protect the environment. We are taking what's considered a hazardous thing, all the wastewater, we're putting it through a process. This one happens to be activated sludge. We're making sure it's disinfected and treated properly before it then returns back into the stream. So without further ado, I know you can't wait, we're gonna walk down here and take a look. Here we are at the end of the process, okay? This is probably one of the most peaceful and tranquil places all across the plant, right? I don't know, me myself, I like being with the bugs, they're pretty cool. But look at that right there. You cannot beat the nice clear effluent leaving out into the receiving stream. Okay? You gotta have it, right? What happens after you flush? It comes to a plant like this or similar to it, where they use microbiology. There's all kinds of other systems out there that people use, operators like me use every single day to clean that wastewater and make sure it's acceptable to be let out back into the environment for you and other wildlife to be a part of, okay? So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. There's more like this to come. There's more everything wastewater. Thank you guys so much for your support. We'll see you later. Turd Nerds out.